So I've got my distress ink and little dauber there. So I've been through the papers and I've chosen the sheet that I'd like for my front cover, and my printer has printed a white border around the edge, so I'm just going to cut that little sliver of paper off, and then I'm going to just use the vintage photo to just colour my envelope, because it just looked really stark white against the page that I had chosen, and I think it just looked better with that little bit of colour around the edge. So what I really like about these projects is that they're quite relaxing and freeing. I have no clue how I'm going to design it and what I'm going to decorate my journal with. But that's the freeing side of it. I don't feel like I have to stick to any rules, and I'm just enjoying the process. So I'm sticking the whole sheet down just to ensure that it fits as I would like it to fit, and then I'm going to just cut the excess to the size of my page, rather than cutting it first and finding out it's too small, or it's not straight or something like that. So I'm just cutting it to the size of the page. Yeah, I'm really pleased with that. I like the way that it looks, and it's plain enough that I can add something to the front cover and jazz it up a bit. So moving on inside the journal, I've just selected, or I'm going to be selecting, as you'll see in a moment, my first internal page. So there's so many pretty papers, but I've gone with this one because it has a slight line. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it has faint lines, and I thought this would be really good for journaling on. So I'm just measuring it up using the book's centerfold to gauge my where I'm going to be cutting. So I use this little book that I actually picked up from the pound shop to do my gluing on, just to make sure that I get the glue all the way to the edges of the paper. I also use the internal pages of this book to use in my scrapbooking, to add pages to my handmade journals, and it's kind of looking in a sorry state, but it's very well used. This folder that I keep my scraps of tea dyed paper, and these ones were my experiments, so they're very crumpled. I was trying to get a very used look, So I'm going to use these to decorate the background of some of the pages in my journal, because I kind of like the way that the vintage photo looked, but I just wanted a bit more texture in my pages. So I thought these would give a lot more of a authentic feel to like an old journal. So I'm just using a little bit of scrap cardboard just to smear out my glue and make sure I've got good coverage. So I'm going to be keeping these in my scrap folder for next time. Are you like me as well? Do you keep your little bits of scraps and you don't really want to get rid of them? Because I have lots of those folders with scrap paper. So stay tuned to some scrap paper projects. That looks, but now I'm deciding whether to stick the other part of the paper that I'd previously cut to match so that they could look somewhat symmetrical. So I'm just looking at that, but I'm actually thinking to myself, I really like that tea stained paper and I didn't want to have to cover it up. To the next few pages, I'm using some more scrap pieces of paper to just cover where the actual digi papers don't meet the top of my journal. So you'll just see the tea stained paper. Oh, sorry, getting tongue-tied there. You'll just see the tea stained paper peeking out of the top. And I thought this looked really cute. You can see the paper that I actually chose for this page in a second. decide which page should be next. I didn't know which paper to choose. I just going through this pile of papers, and yeah, I just didn't know which one to put next. So what I actually decided to do is to just cover the other pages with the tea stained paper, and then go through afterwards and make some decisions. So now all my pages are laid down with a background of tea stained paper. So I've gone for this really nice blue design with the flowers and the bunting and the green frame at the bottom. I'm thinking on these three internal kind of pages with my pages with my flip out, I'm thinking I want somewhere to do some journaling. So again, this is my offcut from the very first page. This has some faint lines which will help me because I just don't have the straightest handwriting out there, and I'm just deciding which page to put that on. And I'm going to actually show you the final results. So yes, this is the final journal with its base sheets. I haven't done any decorating yet, so I haven't put any pockets or anything like that, or any lace trim. So stay tuned, that will be coming up in part 3. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and we're just going to go through a quick flip through of what I've done so far. So the lighting has changed because of the sun going around the side of the room that I'm in, so I don't have any direct sunlight. So I've just turned on the lamp, and I'm just pulled the camera out just so you can see their entire journal. So yeah, I'm just really happy with what I've done so far. I hope you've been following along as well, and you've managed to get over and download the papers, because they're absolutely beautiful, and there's just so much stuff that you can make. So I'll see you in part 3. Enjoy your day.